Hi, my name is Ben Watson and I'm in my first year of studying business management at Leeds Beckett University, and I will be discussing my purchasing behaviour for my Understanding Markets and Customers module. In this vlog, I'm going to discuss and analyse the steps that led to me purchasing this Nice London jumper. I purchased this jumper from Topman in Trinity in Leeds. Of the 4 types of consumer decision making proposed by O'Gwyn et al. In 2011, I would say that this process would be limited problem solving, as all the steps were rather brief, but at the same time I didn't really know the options that were out there or their prices. This is also backed up by Perry and Spilek in 2011, who said that limited problem solving was a consumer's way of trying to find a remedy to a problem. In this scenario, the situation is rather simple. The problem was that I didn't have enough jumpers, and the solution was to buy another jumper. To come to a well-rounded conclusion, I use Godsnays and Richardson's business-to-consumer decision-making process, which uses 5 steps that show how a consumer comes to a product decision. I felt strongly that this was the best model to use, as it clearly breaks down the 5 steps that any consumer could face when trying to come to a product decision. I also felt it really clearly sets out what goes on inside a consumer's head when they are looking for a remedy to a problem. Step 1 is problem recognition, where a consumer recognises there is an issue and needs to buy something to remedy that issue. In this scenario, I realised I needed to buy a jumper to reach a desired state of owning enough jumpers. In the second step, the consumer browses their possibilities, taking influence from adverts and endorsements. In my scenario, I browsed many internet sites and marketplaces. But in the end, my biggest source of influence was celebrities and influencers who set trends and fashions. The third step is evaluation of alternatives, where all the possibilities are compared and contrasted using their strengths and weaknesses. In my scenario, I compared my Nice London jumper to a similar Tommy Hilfiger jumper, and whilst the Nice jumper was slightly more expensive, I felt like the element of the Nice jumper being more unique would make me stand out more in social situations. I feel as though this step helps you identify the pros and cons to purchasing each of your product choices. The fourth step of the business-to-consumer decision-making process is product choice, where you come to a conclusion based on all the alternatives, having weighed up all the pros and cons of each of the products. Despite there being cheaper and more reputable options out there on the market, I decided to side with Nice London because of their rising reputation, but yet high popularity without being mainstream and overworn. I felt as though their rising reputation and use of social influencers to increase their market share was the primary reason I chose to side with them. The fifth step is outcomes, in which the consumer uses a critical and evaluative mindset to discuss whether or not the product suited their wants and needs. For me personally, I am very satisfied having chosen Nice London as the brand that I chose to purchase, as I felt it was more eye-catching and more unique than other market alternatives. To conclude, my purchasing behaviour regarding Nice London was a very positive experience. On a similar note, I would highly recommend using less well-known and sort of off-piste brands in the future. I feel as though using Godsnays and Richardson's business-to-consumer decision-making process helps consumers become more aware of the options out there. On a similar note, using increased levels of detail helps weigh up the pros and cons of each possible product out there. Thank you for watching this vlog on my purchasing behaviour. The references can be found in the description. Thank you.